My name is Ed Wall. I'm the Senior Lecturer for Landscape Architecture at Kingston University, and we teach a series of landscape architecture courses in the faculty. We teach an undergraduate course, the BA Honours, which is a 3-year course, and we teach two postgraduate courses, the Postgraduate Diploma in Landscape Architecture and the Landscape and Urbanism Master's course. In the work that we do at Kingston, we begin the course fundamentally looking at what landscape architecture is. And within the many definitions of what landscape architecture is, we choose to take a definition which is focused on the design-related aspects of landscape architecture, looking at where the problem-solving, the creative problem-solving of a design discipline overlaps with the open space, the environmental spaces that we look at. Ultimately, the relationship, the definition of landscape architecture is really the design of spaces, the problem solving of spaces within the outdoor environment, whereas architecture looks at built forms predominantly, so vertical forms. We look at the outdoor spaces within rural conditions and also within urban conditions. Within Kingston, we look at the design of these outdoor spaces predominantly from the studio perspective. So working in groups of students and staff, we concentrate on the development of projects which bridge between the theoretical and their live practical projects. We aim to, as students progress from first year through to third year, to focus more on live projects where we engage with clients, with stakeholders, and real spaces within both the urban and rural environments. So the staff will work with people they know, they'll work with people who've approached the university to discuss spaces and environments that have particular issues, and we will then take groups of students to discuss and look at what these conditions are and develop design solutions for them. These projects are developed over weeks, over months, over semesters, and the outcome of the work is usually very graphic. It's very strong graphic work, looking at ideas of spaces, of forms, through extended periods of time. This is one thing that makes landscape architecture quite unique, is the aspect of time which plays into our projects, considering that landscapes are always changing, are always evolving, are always in a state of flux. We aim to anticipate within the design projects at the university how this change comes into play in both short-term scale but also in the long term. With regards to the projects that we do, we have a group, an organization within the university called the Landscape Interface Studio. And the Landscape Interface Studio is a collective, really, a group of staff and students who look at landscape open space projects with an eye on research, with an eye on education, with an eye on practice. And the importance of this is that we are introducing students to the processes of practice projects so that they have the potential for engaging with, as I said, real clients, engaging with stakeholders, engaging with real sites and real practical issues within the supported framework of the university. One of the benefits of this is that we're able to allow students to build up a CV of experience while they're at Kingston, so that when they apply for jobs, when they graduate, they're able to list many of the projects and many of the experiences they've had working on these live projects. We also aim within the projects that we involved in with the Landscape Interface Studio is to look beyond just the boundaries of the university. We like to understand how the university interfaces with the world of practice within the UK, within London, but also further afield. So we do have every member of staff within the landscape architecture team is involved in some way within landscape architecture practice, also within research and teaching. And through this work that the staff do, we've been lucky enough to be involved in workshops with the Amsterdam Academy, which we have many students go for a number of years now, going every winter to the Amsterdam Academy. We also, last year, we had some students going to Cadiz with the Politecnico di Milano, and also I'm going to Versailles with University in Versailles, allowing students from Kingston to be able to engage, to be able to share their experiences with students from other countries. In addition to this, I suppose as part of this, we see the importance of students engaging with different cultures and different landscapes as part of their work. So they're able to respond to the specific context, the specific nature of the landscape with which they're designing. And this is increasingly important as students work within landscape architecture offices, they get experience in the profession of landscape architecture. They are increasingly, they're working both in the UK and overseas. And we have students now who are working in the Netherlands, working in China, working in Japan, working in the United States. And each of these countries and cities have different cultural contexts, different environmental contexts. And it's very important that our students are able to respond to these. As a result of this, I think our students graduate from Kingston with a real strength in their ability to adapt to different contexts, and also their appreciation for the diversity of that landscape architecture provides. Partly, I think, because of this, we like to attract a diversity of students. We have students from a number of different parts of the UK, from different backgrounds and from different countries. And this actually enriches the course so that students are able to share their immediate experiences and also to build up their vocabulary in landscape architecture and their vocabulary of experiences as they go along. The course at Kingston is an accredited course with the Landscape Institutes, and this is important for those students who are wishing to become landscape architects within the UK and further afield. The Chartered Profession of Landscape Architecture is a young profession, but it's growing quite rapidly due to particular issues in relation to the environment, global environmental issues, as well as local social environmental issues. The course specifically at Kingston engages with both the Landscape Institute, but also engages with wider bodies. And one of the highlights, I think, of the course at Kingston is the ability to engage with a number of different groups, both within the university and beyond the university. So within the Faculty of Art, Design and Architecture at Kingston University, we're able to engage with a number of different courses. We have projects that overlap with architecture, but we also in the past have done projects with our colleagues in product and furniture design, within architecture, within art and design. And this has been extremely useful for the students, so that it broadens their experience and their vocabulary within design disciplines. We have also been able to engage with students at Kingston College and other local institutions, so that we are developing a network within London. I think London, again, is probably one of the big resources that we have for the course. And many of our projects, begin within a London context, looking at issues such as, the Thames watershed at a large regional scale, and then coming down to the scale of the public space. I think within Kingston, the strength that the Landscape Interface Studio brings, the idea of the Landscape Interface Studio brings to the course is really, really important, and it's quite significant because it does allow us to reimagine what is seen as the traditional hierarchy of a university, with the tutors and professors at the top and the students somewhere near the bottom. And we imagine the environment of the Landscape Interface Studio, and we aspire for it to be much more horizontal, where the students are able to approach the staff on a daily basis, and they're encouraged to do that so that the students can learn gradually and build up a very strong understanding throughout the year, but also so that the staff can have a rich learning experience themselves. So we have both the staff and the students learning from each other, and this allows, I believe, allows a greater experience for the students as they step out into a practice environment. And for many of our students who actually choose to continue within university, within academia, it also allows them to build up a stronger understanding of the academic environments and also what it means to get involved in research and practice-based projects. The important thing within the course at Kingston is the approachable nature of the team and all the staff and students at the Landscape Interface Studio. And we would really encourage anyone who's interested or has questions about either landscape architecture or the course at Kingston to contact us so that we can discuss both your suitability for joining the course, but also to explain the basis of landscape architecture as a discipline. We're always excited to have a diversity of students joining us with a diversity of experiences. And if you have any doubts, please let us know and we can discuss the best way to take things forward.